At this time, we ask those who are willing and able to please rise and please celebrate unity and inclusion with the playing of the Black National Anthem, Lift Every Voice and Sing. Survivor.
The calendar says February, but this matchup tonight is going to make it feel like March. A top 25 collision. Tonight, it's the number 23 Minnesota Gophers hosting the number 10 Ohio State Buckeyes. Welcome in, everyone. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate as we start with the home team, Amaya Battle, helping them out in that 8-game win streak they're on.
Senior Amaya Battle is averaging about 10.7 rebounds and nearly 4 assists a game, and is doing it with impressive discipline and decision-making on both ends of the floor. In the Gophers' most recent win at Wisconsin, she led the way with 21 points, constantly attacking the paint, rebounding with purpose, and finding teammates in rhythm.
And Jelani Cambridge here for the Ohio State Buckeyes has been helping her team with tons of points, Marissa.
Keep your eyes on Jelani Cambridge. She's second in the Big Ten in scoring at 22.8 points per game. This Ohio State guard is electric with the ball in her hands. She can break defenders down off the dribble, and she gets downhill in a heartbeat. Because she's such a threat to score, defenses are forced to collapse on her the second she turns the corner, which results in easy buckets for the rest of the Ohio State Buckeyes.
We get ready here for tonight. It's going to be that matchup where both these teams are going to be bringing out everything at the barn. The animals are out, and you're seeing what this atmosphere can look like in the iconic Williams Arena. So we take a look at the starting lineups for the visitors. You're seeing both Cambridge sisters in the matchup, as well as Gray, Watson, and Lemula. For the Gophers, Battle, Braun, McKinney, Groholski, and Hart. And Marissa, both these teams play different styles of play. Can you talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, this game is going to be about tempo, pace, and possession of the basketball. Ohio State wants to play incredibly fast-paced, get extra possessions through their full-court pressure defense, while Minnesota, on the other hand, wants efficiency. They want control. They thrive when they share the basketball and establish their inside game early.
Now this matchup gearing up to be ready for the hype. You're seeing what this is like here in February for Big Ten play. Both these teams having a lot of implications on this game, what this can mean for those final games in regular season. But Marissa, what do you think both these teams have to do in those first few minutes?
I think they both have to play their style of basketball, right? Ohio State's going to try and speed the game up. Minnesota Gophers are going to try and slow the pace down, be very disciplined with the basketball. Minnesota cannot turn the basketball over in that full court pressure defense that Ohio State puts on and allow Ohio State to score easily in transition. That is when the Buckeyes are at their best.
The center circle, you're seeing Lemula and Hart taking the tip, and we start now. The Buckeyes controlling out of the gate. Kennedy Cambridge. Seeing that ball movement by the Buckeyes. Inside the Gophers, forcing the first turnover of the night.
Yeah, good sign for the Gophers defensively, getting that first turnover.
A little bit of a scrum, but it goes back to Ohio State on the run, still searching for those first points of the night. And this one rims out. Still anyone's opening bucket to take. Battle. Stopping up.
These first couple of minutes, I think both teams are going to be trying to play their style of basketball, get their footing, and kind of feel Jelani Cambridge out, right? She is so explosive, so quick with and without the basketball. You can watch as much game footage as you want, game film as you want on her, but until you actually get on the court and experience that quickness, it's going to take a few minutes. You see there, Tori McKinney, one of the Gophers' best defenders, defending Cambridge with the basketball.
But the first foul of the evening. Take a look at this one again. Ball inside. And that's Jelani Cambridge taking it to Tori McKinney.
Yeah, McKinney went under that screen set by Cambridge's teammate. She got caught up a little bit as Cambridge rounded that corner incredibly quick. Cambridge does lead the Big Ten in free throws made, so she is at this free throw line quite often. Shoots 83% from the free throw line in Big Ten play.
You can see it with that speed, that pace, hard to get in front. But sinking that second free throw.
And here the Buckeyes are in their signature full court pressure defense. They're going to look to trap out of this defense. Gophers do a good job breaking it.
As we get up in the set, Mara Braun Able to swing it to Grace Gracholski, inside to Sophie Hart. Look at those post moves, but the ball rims out. Gophers able to collect and stay on offense. Braun at the top of the key, 15 seconds on the dribble, step back, puts up the tray, and she sinks it. Gophers getting the first 3 of the evening.
Mara Braun has come alive in this 8-game winning streak that the Gophers are on. She's showing us a little bit of who she has been earlier in her career prior to those injuries.
Knock, knock, Lemila answering on the 3-point line.
Just the second 3 of the Big Ten Conference play for Lemila.
Turnover, Hart going on the ground, able to pick up this basketball, and we know how important these possessions are.
Yeah, every possession matters today, especially for the Gophers who value the basketball. They aren't going to get as many possessions in a 40-minute game as the Buckeyes are with that quick tempo that they play.
Can't leave Grace Gracholski open. She drains a 3 of her own. Gophers now up to 8.
G-Money, as her team calls her,
Makes
showing
sense.
us why she has that nickname.
So 8-4, we sit, 7:25 left on the clock here in the first quarter. 8 seconds, able to feed it inside, don't get it to fall. Gracholski, this one long, off the iron. You're seeing how quick this game is already going.
And we know the Gophers can play an up-style tempo. We've seen them play that against that heart-wrenching double overtime loss versus Maryland and that fantastic win at Iowa where they upset Iowa. So they are capable of playing a faster tempo, but they are at their best when they're playing a controlled, disciplined pace.
Able to draw the foul here. This one on Ava Watson, the sophomore, picking up her first of the night.
This Ohio State Buckeyes team, incredibly young, only 3 players older than a sophomore, so having quite this season with a relatively young roster. And talking to their coaching staff, Jelani Cambridge, a sophomore, has really taken a leadership role, even though she's just a sophomore on the team. The players look to her for her leadership.
Ball doinks out. And back to Ohio State on the run, kicking it out. Still looking to move fast.
Great job by the Gophers in defensive transition, getting a good matchup, eliminating the opportunity for fast break. And there you see Jelani Cambridge doing what she does best. She is so good off the dribble.
Now cashing in now. Buckeyes up to 6. Seeing Minnesota pull this one out. 17 on the shot clock. Over to Grace Gracholski, right wing. Skip pass over to Battle. 10 seconds. Underneath, and the reverse, no good. Buckeyes coming the other way. Gray gives it up to Kennedy Cambridge. Gets it back to Jelani Cambridge. Long distance. You don't see a ton of misses from her from that spot on the court, but not able to sink it this time.
And getting ready for this game, I was looking at Jelani Cambridge's stat line. There are not a lot of weaknesses in her game, that's for sure. She can hit the 3. She is probably one of the best in the nation at pull-up one-dribble jumper.
Doesn't get this one, but the offensive board sets up Gracholski. Had a couple chances, but Gophers still come up without scoring that possession. But this one, pure. Looked like Kennedy Cambridge sinking it down.
And that was a result of the attention that Jelani Cambridge demands offensively. 3 Gophers players sunk in on Jelani Cambridge, leaving Kennedy Cambridge wide open for that corner 3-pointer.
That's something that the Gopher coaching staff was saying. They just got to make sure, how are they helping? How are they getting back on defense, as Grace Gracholski unable to put through the 2.
I like that possession for the Gophers, taking advantage of a 5'7" Jelani Cambridge on a former post player guard, Grace Gracholski, who's shown us many times this season she's capable of scoring in the paint.
But look at that speed, lightning fast. Jelani Cambridge to the hole. Gophers able to beat the press, battle into the front court. Picks up her dribble though, gonna need some help. Gets it to Grace Graholski. And over to Braun on the left side, doinks it off, but Tonga able to help the Gophers have another opportunity here. Glenn on the ground, draws the foul. 3:43 left here in the first. 11-8, Ohio State on top. We'll be back here on Big Ten Plus in just a moment. Again, those final 3 minutes and 41 seconds of the first coming up soon. With you at the barn, Ohio State up 11-8. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate as we take a look at the Buckeyes coaching staff.
Yeah, Coach Kevin McGuff recently got his 500th career win at Washington, which is where he got his coaching stripes. And there you see Katie Smith. If you are a Minnesota basketball fan, you recognize that name. Longtime assistant coach for the Minnesota Lynx. Played her college basketball at Ohio State where she was Big Ten Player of the Year. But there you can see what she accomplished as both a player and a coach. So she is happy to be back in what she calls her second home in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, certainly a fun fact. And I'm sure a fun matchup for her being back in Minnesota as Battle trying to put it up in the lane. Defensive rebound Buckeyes. And like always, they're looking to push.
Yeah, they push the tempo off both miss and makes.
And it looks like an offensive foul. Battle able to help set that one up.
Yeah, foul on Kylie Kitts trying to set the screen for Cambridge and caught her moving a little bit. There you can see a replay of that last foul.
Yeah, credit to Amaya Battle really trying to slip through that screen, making her have to try to chase her. Glenn. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Looking for a friend, finds Sophia Hart underneath. Not converting.
Gophers have missed some of those easy basket points that they typically have been making in this 8-game winning streak. Gophers shooting just 21% from the field thus far.
But so have the Buckeyes. You see Jelani Cambridge going underneath. We've seen her miss a few of those bunnies, so both teams really trying to get after it, but coming up short on those bunnies. Sophia Hart makes it happen. Putting down the 2, getting the Gophers back here within 3.
Sophie Hart's been incredible on the offensive glass. 4th in the Big Ten, averaging 3.3 offensive rebounds a game. That has been a big improvement in her game from last season to this season.
And I got to say, 1 point, excuse me, slow turn-in points, and even more Gophers taking the lead. 12-11, 2:08. Ten seconds on the shot clock. Turning and facing, but joints it off short.
That's exactly the possession you want defensively from the Gophers, forcing Ohio State to use majority of the shot clock, slowing them down.
And it's hard again, Marissa.
Sophie getting that spot on the block that she loves, that right-handed block, turning over her left shoulder, automatic from that spot, Sophie Hart.
And Marissa, Sophia Hart had 21 points against this Ohio State Buckeye team last time they matched up, so impressive to see her starting out just the same.
I do think this is going to be a game of runs. We saw Ohio State go on a little scoring run early in the first quarter. Minnesota is currently on a 6-0 run.
Shot clock ticking down, 10 seconds. Mara Braun, fadeaway. Swirling out, but 14-11, under a minute to go. Ball up, Kennedy Cambridge, nothing but net.
I think that was a Cambridge to Cambridge possession there.
So many sister-to-sister connections here, even throughout the Big Ten. So many teams having siblings playing together. I feel like it's certainly a trend.
Yeah, the Bet sisters out at UCLA. We've got our own sisters here on the Gophers squad with the Brashear sisters.
This one doesn't fall through. Glenn able to help the Gophers stay on offense. She's going to line up, rimming out, but Sophie Hart trying to fight underneath. Buckeyes coming out. On the move, short jumper is pure. This one, Martin. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Gophers coming up, trying to get that final shot. Braun from distance, and almost helping the Gophers to get back in the lead. But 16-14, the first quarter ends. Marissa, what an exciting start here for both the teams.
You're the Minnesota Gophers. I think you feel really good about a 16-14 score. They struggled to shoot the ball 29%, but Sophie Hart finding a way there in the paint, doing a fantastic job. We'll be back.
Back with you in Minneapolis, Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate as we take a look at Dawn Politzowite of the Gophers.
Coach Dawn Politzowite, 65-33 in her 3 seasons at the Gophers. With their win against the Badgers, the Gophers reached a 20-win mark for the 3rd consecutive season. Head coach Dawn Politzowite is only the 2nd coach in Gopher program history to achieve 20 wins in 3 consecutive seasons. The other coach to do so was Pam Borton, beginning back in 2002.
And as far as the Ohio State Buckeyes, let's talk a little bit more about their head coach.
Yeah, Kevin McGuff, been at Ohio State for 13 years. We talked about him getting his 500th win recently at Washington, where he started coaching. He was also named 2024 Big Ten Coach of the Year. His teams are known for what you've seen so far tonight, which is incredibly fast tempo, three-point shooting, and full court defensive pressure.
Game on. Here we are in the 2nd quarter. Mara Braun on the move. off the back iron. And Cambridge gets it over to her sister. Another swing, though. Now with Watson. Cambridge sisters connect, and they get it through.
Jelani Cambridge just capable of scoring from anywhere on the court. Defending her, you have to be ready at any given moment. She was the #2 recruit coming out of the 2024 high school class. If you're a women's basketball fan, you will recognize the #1 recruit, Sarah Strong from UConn, who is having quite the career there over at UConn. So Jelani Cambridge coming from a strong recruiting class and proving her worth here at Ohio State.
This one off the mark to the right, and the Gophers. Defensive rebounds are important tonight for them, keeping them to that one-and-done battle. Puts it up, Cambridge doing just the same, right back to the Gophers. And a three-pointer from Chance Gray. Put that ball up.
That's exactly what you don't want to see if you're the Gophers. Maybe a little bit of a poor shot selection offensively. Ohio State taking that miss and transitioning into an open three-pointer.
SOPHIA HART trying to go up and over, but 21-14 Buckeyes. Heat check, Ava Watson not able to make it. Again, basketball, the game of runs. Gophers trying to compose this one off to the left. And Tori McKinney getting her hands in there. Hard off the glass, unable to convert. Reverse lay-in, falling in for sophomore Ava Watson. And that forces the Gophers to take a timeout.
Now you can see how easily Ohio State can score quickly. 21-14 with 7:48 to go, as you see Kennedy Cambridge and Watson with the layup.
Gopher fans, your favorite big game treat just got a whole lot sweeter. Head on over to the Kim stand now as everyone's favorite Gopher goalie is serving up delicious bowls of ice cream for a limited time. Kim's is located behind section 115. Make sure you go to goalie and get yourself a sweet.
Back with you inside Williams Arena. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate as we take a look at the Cambridge sisters, Jelani and Kennedy, and what they've been doing tonight.
Jelani Cambridge, already a 1,000-point scorer as a sophomore. Earlier this season, she put up a career-high 41 points. We talked about Katie Smith earlier. Katie Smith, another one of 4 Buckeyes to score over 40 points. And Kennedy Cambridge, there you see her shooting a 3, but she's known for her defense. Just the second player in program history to have over 100 steals, in a single season. The last time that was done at Ohio State was the 84-85 season. So quite the duo that the Ohio State Buckeyes have in the Cambridge sisters.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, a family full of athletes, brother also playing at Texas Tech University.
Yeah, older sister Jordan Cambridge, a standout at Vanderbilt, now coaching at Belmont.
And even the list goes on. I mean, another brother of theirs, older brother, playing basketball in Europe. So
I can imagine the backyard basketball games in that family might have gotten a little competitive.
certainly would help, definitely, again, to go against that high talent. We get back into action. Ava Watson puts it up, but an offensive foul coming first.
Looks like another offensive foul on a screen set here. We'll take a look at the replay. That moving screen.
Lemula again.
Officials doing a good job of recognizing that.
.7:15 to go in the second. Mara Braun has it on the right wing. Looking for Grace Groholski, trying to use those high school post moves. Inside to Tonga. Gonna back down Lemula.
And Gophers are struggling to make some of those short shots that they've been making in this 8-game winning streak.
Glenn inside to Groholski. He's able to cut through the defenders, but this ball will stay here.
So see Grace Groholski using those former post moves, but the height of Lemula just too much at 6'5".
Certainly always see her sneaking through defenders, finding those openings. And we're already seeing it here tonight. Being aware of that shot clock, 10 seconds. Sophie Hart has it in the paint. Again, 21 points against them last time they matched up. This one off the mark.
Another shot rimmed in and out for the Gophers.
Those are those times where you just need to withstand the run. When you're not able to get those shots, how do you keep this game within striking distance for those shots to start falling? Groholski out to Battle. Again, under 15 seconds on that shot clock. Battle pulls the trigger of her own. Bouncing off, but Hart right there to put it in for two.
Great offensive rebound putback, keeping the basketball high for Sophie Hart. I also love Maya Battle shooting that little pull-up jumper. That's her bread and butter. Gophers looked better that offensive set that they have in the previous couple of sets.
Jelani Cambridge. Under 15, she'll pull the trigger. This one off the mark, not even hitting the rim. Back Gopher basketball. I'm seeing how close the defenders like to play, and they're picking up these fouls.
Yeah, Ohio State pressures the basketball 1 through 5, as you can see here in Maya Battle in the full court. And Todd just getting her with the hands a little bit.
The referee's on top of that, something that the Buckeyes are going to need to take note of down the stretch of what's being called here tonight. Grace Groholski quickly inside to Sophie Hart, and she makes them pay.
Fantastic first half so far by Sophie Hart. 8 points, 5 rebounds. She is keeping the Gophers in this basketball game here.
Outside, Martin gets it back to Jelani Cambridge. Now, Lemula, I think, can't see her number, hair covering up her jersey, but ultimately this one not catching anything. And back Gopher basketball.
Ohio State continuing to set up in that full court pressure defense. Gophers have done a nice job offensively handling the pressure in the full court. They're just having a hard time converting it to made baskets.
That last shot by Kylie Kitts for the Buckeyes, but no good. 23-16. Buckeyes leading it. Battle. Inside to Groholski, and again drawing the foul here on Ohio State.
Good job by the Gophers isolating Grace Groholski in the post. And you can see Cambridge Got a little handsy there with their post defense.
Yeah, and that's great awareness. Gophers just knowing, hey, let's get that ball in. They're fouling us right now.
And that's one way to run your offense, right? If shots aren't falling, get a little bit more aggressive. Try and get into your post and get yourself to the free throw line. As you see here, Briley Glenn to Sophie Hart.
Substitutions for both teams. Hobbs coming in for the Buckeyes, as well as Tori McKinney for the Gophers. Sophie Hart from the line, able to sink the first.
This Buckeyes team does have the height to combat Sophie Hart. We have seen a couple matchups this season where no one has anyone that's as tall as Sophie Hart, and she has just a field day in the paint. But with Lemila and Hobbs at 6'6" and 6'4".
Sophie Hart going 2 for 2 from the line. That's exactly what the Gophers needed to happen as they try to chip back into this. Now only down 3, 4:10 left before halftime.
Double ball screen for Jelani Cambridge there. Clearly trying to get her involved in this basketball game.
Watson pulls it up, bouncing off the front rim. Get an opportunity right now for the Gophers to tie it or get within 1. Battle puts it up. Tonga trying to help them keep it. Gets it over to the Buckeyes though, and all the way down. But Ava Martin missing it.
Great job by Grace Graholski, staying on her feet, staying straight up and down. Defensive transition.
Glenn short on that left side.
Gophers just continuing to miss some of those easy baskets. Yeah, they're contested a little bit, but Gophers have been making those. And there you see Watson hitting a 3.
Full court press continues from the Buckeyes. Tori McKinney will help the Gophers break that. Under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Battle gives it up to Graholski. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Inside to Tonga. Doesn't need the window, nothing but net. She drops in the deuce.
Finau Tonga, an undersized post, does a great job of being physical, using her pivot foot down there against the taller 6'4" Hobbs.
Jelani Cambridge gave it up to Gray, and it bounces in.
Nice shot fake by Gray, got Grace Graholski in the air.
Graholski gonna get things set up for the Gophers, kicks it out to Battle. 12 seconds, takes it right to the hole and converts.
Great take by Maya Battle, baseline, elevating herself up in the air.
Do you hear this crowd, Marissa?
Yeah, and if this crowd is at this game, these people worked hard to get to this basketball game. Tori McKinney with the steal in the wide open court layup. The crowd is even more into it. Mother Nature made it very difficult for this crowd to get here tonight, but they are on their feet and letting the Gophers hear it down 4. A minute and a half to play in this first half.
Now the crowd certainly coming alive. As Jelani Cambridge taking it to Tori McKinney. They will call the foul on her. I'm surprised they didn't call the charge, though.
I think that could have gone either way, quite honestly. You see Jelani Cambridge with the push off there, lowering her shoulder into McKinney. We'll let the refs do their job, but I think that could have gone either way with that call.
4-point basketball game. Jelani Cambridge able to come in, or bring this ball in, excuse me. We have just over 90 seconds, 91 left on the clock. 28-24, the Buckeyes on top.
Buckeyes in a box set, looks like to screen the screener, baseline out of bounds play. was going to say, it's probably going to come back to Cambridge if she's the one passing the ball out of bounds.
Under a minute to go.
Big possession here for the Gophers. Get a little bit more momentum going into the locker rooms at halftime.
45 seconds. Battle has it. Gives it up to Gracholski. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Gracholski out to Glenn. Stolen away. The Buckeyes other way. Don't blink, you might miss it. Cambridge putting it up. Again, fouled. 31.9 left in the second.
Good job by Mara Braun getting back with such a explosive player like Jelani Cambridge. I think that was the only option Mara Braun had defensively.
Not giving them anything easy underneath. But now Jelani Cambridge trying to earn it from the line. That one makes it a 3-point game.
Jelani Cambridge, 82.7% free throw shooter. Leads the conference, getting to the free throw line almost 5 times per game.
The second one rimming out, 1 for 2 from the line. SOPHIA HART has it. Just a little over a couple seconds separating game clock and the shot clock. Glenn has it. Ava Watson defending. 9 seconds here on the shot clock. Gracholski comes out, kicks it inside. SOPHIA HART off the window. This one swirling out. 1 second left and they get it.
That was exactly what they wanted. That was the exact play and possession that you want. You had the option for Grace Gracholski for the 3. Otherwise, the post pass to SOPHIA HART. She's been so hot with 10 points. Let's see a little bit of what you've seen in the first half. Cambridge, Watson both hitting the open 3. Ohio State up 3 here at halftime at Williams Arena.
Welcome back inside the barn. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate. And you might be wondering what all this pink is around. Tonight's matchup, the annual pink game at the University of Minnesota. And the Minnesota jerseys tonight featuring pink accents and logos, aiming to raise cancer awareness for breast cancer research and treatment. Game jerseys worn tonight for all 14 Minnesota women's basketball players are available via online auction and at the auction link. All proceeds will be donated to the Mosaic Cancer Center Breast Cancer Research Fund. We invite you to join us in the fight against breast cancer. Marissa, I see you're wearing the pink. You are certainly supporting here tonight, but we encourage everyone here watching to also support. Thank you so much. We'll be back here for the second in just a little bit. Blythe Whaley and Marissa Kate coming back soon. Back with you inside the barn. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate. And this has been a showdown. It's a 3-point game, but let's take a look at what happened in the first half.
Yeah, Mara Braun has been hot the last couple games. She started off the game with that made three, and then Lamila showing us that post players can make three-pointers too.
Oh yeah, as well as Cambridge. The sister-sister connection on some of these, but also just how well she distributes that basketball.
Yeah, Ohio State shot 45% from behind the three-point line in that first half, so they shot the basketball incredibly well from behind the arc. As well as Ava Watson nailing the three, but Battle sneaking her way inside the lane. But gotta appreciate these shoes here on our Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And Marissa, like I said, you're supporting the pink. They're out there with those shoes, and we want those shoes. Maybe we'll be able to figure that out. Yeah, you can look at how Ohio State plays. You're not surprised by those 15 fast break points. The Gophers have 18 of their 26 points in the paint. Something to note, Ohio State has 10 assists on 11 field goals made, so they are doing a fantastic job sharing the basketball in the first half. We'll see what adjustments both coaching staffs made in the locker room at halftime as we get ready to start the second half here at Williams Arena.
Yeah, Marissa, something else I thought was interesting is points in the paint. Gophers leading at 18-4, and you're seeing some of that contribution coming from SOPHIA HART, making the impact known.
Gophers are a team that's capable of getting incredibly hot from behind the three-point line, especially with Mara Braun and Grace Grholski, but they are at their best when they're scoring the majority of their points in the paint, as you see with that stat of 18 points in the paint.
Ball up, and SOPHIA HART doing it on the defensive end as well. Mara Braun uses the Hart screen, kicks it out to Battle, feeding Hart. You're seeing what maybe some of that talk looks like during the break. Probably how can they collapse on her, but SOPHIA HART still finds a way.
Great movement without the basketball. Tori McKinney keeping her eyes out, finding the open SOPHIA HART. To your point, the Buckeyes did bring a double team into SOPHIA HART on that post touch, and they did not do that in the first half, so that's definitely an adjustment they've made.
Cambridge off the mark, McKinney. Bringing it up, doesn't use the screen. Kicks it out to Grholski. Able to swing, gets it back to McKinney. This one rims out. Ball coming the other way, and a travel. Getting moving just a little too quick. It's Ava Watson.
A couple of quick turnovers by the Buckeyes. We'll see if the Gophers can convert here and take the lead back, down just one. Grace Grholski typically gets hot in the second half. 3 points in the first half, so let's see if she comes alive here in the second half for the Minnesota Gophers.
15 seconds. Grholski gives it up to Battle. 10 seconds. Skip pass over to Braun. Left wing three. She gets it to go. Here we go. This is something that you see when the Gophers play, that momentum shift right now, taking the lead. You're seeing how sometimes that halftime talk can really make an impact. The Gophers coming out with it. The Buckeyes needing to respond. Cambridge rimming out.
Gophers are attacking the rim both offensively and defensively for the rebound, something they got away from in the second quarter, I thought, and they're doing a much better job here early in the third quarter. We're going to get Lemula with her third personal foul, which definitely impacts the game.
And this is a dogfight. Both these teams coming out. It's what the Big Ten is made of. Just a 2-point game. Gophers bringing it out underneath. SOPHIA HART. Over to Battle. 15 seconds left as McKinney tried to turn around. The defense able to force that jump ball, but it will stay with the Gophers.
Tori McKinney, another player who's been playing incredibly well for the Minnesota Gophers through this 8-game winning stretch, averaging 14.4 points per game, 26 assists, and a team-leading 16 steals. Gophers have so many players that can do it all, right? Rebound the basketball, hit the open three, lock down a player defensively.
They get it inside to Sophie Hart off the window. She puts in the deuce.
Crowd has come alive here as the Gophers are up 4.
And what did I say, Marissa, at the beginning? It's February on the calendar, but it certainly feels like a March matchup.
This game has big implications. Both teams slated right now to make the NCAA tournament. Autumn Johnson's bracketology, she has the Minnesota Gophers as a 5 seed, Ohio State as a 3 seed in one of the 4 regions. And if you've been following the Minnesota Gophers, you know that they were ranked in the Associated Press top 25 this past week for the first time, which for a lot of fans felt like a long time coming. Their net ranking, which is that objective ranking, is number 9. They are 23 in the Associated Press, which is a subjective ranking this week.
And you're seeing how well this game has been played by them. Finding Tori McKinney down low. Again, we talked about it early. Basketball, the game of runs, like always. Minnesota able to hunker down and start to see these shots to fall. The Buckeyes going to need to do the same. Try to withstand this run that Minnesota is going on, but Tori McKinney able to help the Gophers underneath, turnaround. Back with you inside Williams Arena. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate as we take a look at Sophie Hart and her game tonight.
Yeah, she's been the difference maker for the Gophers in the paint. And again, one of her improvements over from last season to this season is definitely her footwork and her ability to move around that paint. Here you see her keeping the ball high, finishing the basketball. She gives the Gophers such a nice look inside. You see her cutting to the basket, moving without the basketball.
Yeah, and Sophie Hart, I talked about it earlier. She had 21 points the last time these two teams matched up. She already has 14 tonight. So she's on pace to score more than that.
Yeah, she averages about 10.5 points a game. All 5 starters for the Minnesota Gophers average double figures. On the Ohio State side, they've got Jelani Cambridge averaging about 23 points a game. So kind of a tale of 2 stories here between the Buckeyes and the Gophers.
Driving the lane, Chance Gray.
In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Game, Chance Gray is a K-Yow servant leader. Her and her sister have a foundation called the Where To Next Foundation. Chance Gray's sister overcame a 2009 brain aneurysm and stroke to continue to play basketball professionally and at Xavier University. So they started a foundation, and that's why Chance wears the number 2 in honor of a second chance at life.
Yeah, I really like that one, especially you're just seeing what these players use with their platform, how they can help bring that positive change. Gophers bringing it up.
Buckeyes in a 2-3 defensive zone for the first time this game. I think they're looking to stop some of that dribble penetration and points in the paint that the Gophers have been successful on here early in the 3rd quarter.
Braun searches for some range. This one rims out. Coming the other way fast. But look at that. Braun helping keep this one out. Gracholski all alone and drains it. Gracholski always finds a way to make it rain. Ball up and off the glass. This is Jelani Cambridge doing what she does best.
Her 10th point, again, averages about 23 points a game. Gophers have done a nice job on limiting her ability to score. You saw her there make it look incredibly easy with that nice little high touch off the glass.
Gracholski, heat check, yes! And the shots are falling. How can you not go back?
Buckeyes are going to probably go back to Jelani Cambridge. Again, the sophomore guard already scored 1,000 points.
So they are going to call the foul. This one on Glenn, but Marissa, the Gophers now pushing their way. It's 41-33, Gophers on top, and Gracholski being a big part of that.
Yeah, battle to Braun to Gracholski there, sharing the basketball.
As HART gets it back for Minnesota.
I do think the Gophers are at their best when two things are happening. When they're sharing the basketball, getting a lot of ball moving in their half-court sets. And then when you see that happening, when they're attacking the basket and getting themselves to the rim, Amaya Battle with the and one.
The Gophers are playing free on offense, it seems, and Battle able to finish it underneath, putting them up by 10. See Battle slithering her way down the lane. We'll be back. Back with you inside Williams Arena. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate, and Grace Gracholski has found a way to bring the rainstorm inside the barn.
Yeah, she typically heats up in the second half, and here she is hitting one of her 2 threes she's already made this quarter. You see the defensive shift. Mara Braun finding an open Grace Gracholski on the weak side.
And again, how could you not cash in when the shooter's hot? Gophers get it back to Grace Gracholski.
She's really come alive from behind the three-point line this season. 3rd in the Big Ten, shooting 46% from behind the three-point line.
And Battle at the line, putting it up and gets it to go.
Amaya Battle with the and one. She has 2 assists tonight, which moves her into 2nd place all-time on the Gopher career assist leaderboard behind Debbie Hunter.
She gets that over Lindsay Whalen, and definitely Minnesota fans, but also nationally, know that name.
Yeah, just a testament to Amaya's well-rounded game. She leads the team in rebounding. Now she's 2nd all-time career assists.
Kennedy Cambridge kicks it out. Look at this ball swing. No good from distance, but from short, it's good.
Ohio State taking advantage. Gophers didn't find a good box out there, getting the easy offensive rebound and put back.
It was Gray putting in that last two. Glenn gets it inside to Sophia Hart. Saw her collect herself, but not able to finish it this time.
Yeah, the Buckeyes are flying all sorts of defenders at Sophie Hart now, double, triple teaming her. Rightfully so. 14 points on 6 of 12 shooting, 7 rebounds for Sophie Hart in 17 minutes of play.
Yeah, if you're head coach Kevin McGuff, I mean, I can't imagine him not talking about that, how they would be able to fix the heart problem they had. This one going in. It's Hobbs, Ella Hobbs. She'll head to the line.
Good patience by Hobbs. Sophie Hart just got tangled up for her own and one opportunity here.
And that's what the Buckeyes, they need to do if they're going to try to chip back into it.
Hobbs has a nice touch for being 6'4". Very confident at the free throw line.
So Gophers up 6. And an unfortunate turnover. Looks like she might have stepped on the line. But Minnesota winning that turnover battle. Even with that, they have 5. Ohio State has 11 tonight.
Gophers Big Ten leading in turnovers, average just 10.6 turnovers per basketball game. Looks like the official called a timeout. There's something wet on the court.
It's always good for safety when they're aware of that. Make sure keep these players from slipping and sliding. This isn't hockey, Marissa. This court should not have that effect. Jelani Cambridge, 10 seconds on the shot clock. 3:16 left in the quarter. Jelani Cambridge finds it, nothing but net.
I mean, that's just a shot that you can't stop. I mean, Gophers played great defense on Cambridge, and she still found a way to score.
Grahulski gonna dribble this one out.
Gophers have a mismatch. Cambridge on Tonga. We'll see if they can. Oh, Buckeyes switch back. Gophers weren't able to find it in time.
10 seconds. Mara Braun with the basketball. Double teamed, stripped away. Going the other way. The Buckeyes not able to convert.
We knew this was going to be a game of run. Gophers went on that 6-0 run. Buckeyes are now on their own 7-0 run here.
Martin tried, now Battle tried, but Tonga, the offensive board and the putback.
She does that so well. Clears some space for herself with that pivot foot. She's given the Gophers great minutes off the bench this season.
Yeah, I feel like she found the rhythm of the game pretty quickly today. As this ball bounces out. 6-point basketball game, 46-40. Gophers on top, 1:50 left in the third quarter. Battle working it around, a couple Buckeyes trying to take it downhill. Draws the foul.
Battle saw something she liked in that matchup with Watson guarding her. She took it hard at her at the basket. As you can see here, Maya Battle capable of scoring on all 3 levels at the basket with that pull-up jumper, and then she's also added that 3-point shot to her arsenal as well.
So Battle ahead to the line. And Marissa, again, I know we touched on it a little bit, but certainly surprised these Gophers haven't been ranked higher just with their performance tonight alone, but we've seen it time and time again this season.
Yeah, they've lost in that double overtime game to a very good ranked Maryland team. They beat Iowa at Iowa. And again, that net ranking, which is the objective data-based ranking, they've been you know, top 15 for the better part of the season, currently ranked number 9.
Yeah, those are when the stats don't lie. You're seeing what some of those high-class stats the Gophers have been putting up. But an impressive ball game on both sides. Braun skying high for the rebound. But an 8-point spread now. Gophers on top.
Quickly moving into the point of the game where every possession matters. It's been a game of runs already. It's going to be a game of runs from here on out.
Battle taking it downtown, puts down a 2. Seeing her work through that lane, picked up the foul last time, then got the ball, and now the answer, Jolani Cambridge underneath as well.
A little bit of a miscommunication there by the Gophers.
.40 seconds left in the third. Gracholski.
Buckeyes bringing a trap there. Riley Glenn did a nice job getting herself out of it because it came quickly and came out of nowhere.
Mara Braun, nothing but net. Sealy Shooter is getting hot late. Saw the Gophers find their rhythm, and now it's going to be tough for the Buckeyes to try to get some of these stops. 10 seconds left.
Both coaches yelling out instruction. It's loud in here. They're having a hard time.
Sky and high and short. Gracholski, a big board. Gets a shot off at the buzzer, but not able to find its way. 53-42. The Minnesota Gophers on top after 3 quarters here inside the barn.
It all started with the three-pointer. Grace Gracholski hit those 2 early ones. Mara Braun finishing off the third quarter as we move into a very exciting fourth quarter.
Thank you to all for sharing and honoring those battling cancer. Gopher women's basketball and Gophers everywhere aim to stand together, raise awareness, and work towards finding a cure.
Students, it's time for the Uber Eats Seats giveaway. Check out the video below to see who's been selected as tonight's 3 lucky gift card winners. Congratulations to our winners, Ewan, Reagan, and Meredith! Uber Eats Seats is a proud partner of Gopher Athletics.
We welcome you back here on the annual Pink Game. So we take a look at Mara Braun and the performance she's been putting up tonight.
Yeah, she's been heating up the last 8 games, but especially tonight, 9 points. Doing a little bit of everything here. As you can see, that weak side three-pointer. There's something about her shot that the second it leaves her fingertips, you can tell if it's gonna go in or not. Just so silky smooth offensively. It's good to see her getting back to that form. And you take a look at the Gophers in their Big Ten rankings, 2nd in assist to turnover ratio, 2nd in field goal percentage defense, 1st in scoring defense, and then obviously we talked about those turnovers, just 10.4 turnovers per game. On the flip side, Ohio State leads the Big Ten in forcing turnovers, forcing almost 23 turnovers a game. So
foul here before the shot. But to your point, I mean, the Gophers only have 6 turnovers. So the Buckeyes not able to get close currently to their game average.
The Buckeyes have 11 turnovers. Gophers are winning that category as well. 17 points off of turnovers. So doing a nice job converting turnovers to points. As we saw Cambridge miss Amaya Battle offensive rebound. 9 rebounds for Amaya Battle here. 9 points on the edge of a double-double.
Inside to Hart. Hart finds a way.
Hart getting fancy.
Oh yeah, the reverse lay-in, my favorite. Inside the lane, Cambridge gets a 2 of her own. Again, she is just one of those swift players getting inside the lane, finding the fadeaway, so hard to defend.
The shots, the level of difficulty on the shots that she is able to make is just unbelievable. Double behind the back, pull-up jumper at the free throw line. She makes it look like she's shooting a right-handed layup.
Sophie Hart trying to keep the Gophers on offense. A foul called on the Buckeyes.
Fouls on Kennedy Cambridge, her first. And again, behind the back, pull up Jay. So easy for Jelani Cambridge.
This is where I have to credit Coach Kevin McGuff, because some coaches maybe would try to box her in, but he's really letting her play tonight. And always throughout the season, he's really given her that green light.
I like the way the Gophers are attacking the basket with the dribble here early in the 4th quarter. Amaya Battle getting herself to the free throw line again. And when we talk about Amaya Battle and what she's accomplished, she is a senior for the Gophers. She is the only active NCAA player with more than 1,000 career points, 700 career rebounds, and 500 career assists.
And she is such an impressive player, and showing why she has just that dynamic versatility.
She doesn't get rattled either. I mean, she's just calm and collected and so disciplined when she's on the basketball court.
Cambridge off the mark.
Fans didn't like that call there. I think they thought the ball went off the Buckeyes. We'll get a little review here of our own. And I think the officials had that call right. It looks like it was off Mara Braun's fingertips.
8:19 left in the matchup. Jelani Cambridge pulls it out. 8 seconds. Uses the screen. Comes right back. Finds a shot. No good, but Sophie Hart, that defensive rebound. She's finding it on offense and able to get the Gophers the ball back.
8th rebound for Sophie Hart, so she also, alongside my battle, right on the edge of a double-double. Buckeyes are so good at having active hands down low when you pull down a rebound, so you really have to hold on tight to the basketball.
And Tori McKinney finds the tray.
I didn't know how much energy Tori McKinney would have for offense tonight, because she has the toughest matchup defending Jelani Cambridge all night, but we've got ourselves a timeout. Gophers up 60-44 with 7:35 to go, and it has been a barn burner here at Williams Arena.
is Big Ten basketball. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate as we take a look at Jelani Cambridge and her 16 points tonight.
Yeah, 16 points. She averages about 23. Second in the Big Ten in field goals made and total points alongside points average. She's also second in the Big Ten at field goal attempts. So she is putting in work as just a sophomore. So it'll be so exciting to see what this talented athlete can accomplish in all 4 years as an Ohio State Buckeye. And there you can get rare footage of her taking a little break.
Yeah, exactly. You're normally seeing that speed up and down this court. But she had 41 points back on January 7th. Just such a impressive performance, getting the career high. But we're seeing her putting in the work again tonight, trying to get close.
She'll be key here towards the end of the game. Buckeyes down 16. You have to think Coach Kevin McGuff is going to run all three things through Cambridge.
You touched on Tori McKinney defending her, and a big part of why Cambridge hasn't been able to get more points tonight. Right on that cue, she puts in one from the left side.
Now, she does have 18 points, but on 8 of 22 shooting. So McKinney has been disruptive in terms of field goal percentage and attempts for Cambridge.
And a double dribble called, giving this ball back to the Buckeyes.
The 8th turnover for the Gophers, as we'll see Mara Braun. Looked like more of a hesitation dribble. Not sure what the ref saw there, but we will continue on.
And those are always the tough ones. You can't think about it too much. You got to shake off whatever and play defense. Ball up for the Buckeyes, but one and done. Gophers up 60-46, 6:30 left. Braun inside to Sophia Hart. Kicks it out to Tori McKinney. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Back into Hart. She's going to work. Swirls it out. But look at the hustle battle. Keeping it going. Groholski out to McKinney. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Braun. This one boinks out, but still working. Sophie Hart gets it to go underneath. This is truly a heart problem for the Buckeyes. They're going to need to call a cardiologist, Marissa.
We've got 2 Gopher players with double-doubles after that grind of a possession by the Gophers. Amaya Battle with 11 and 10. Sophie Hart with 18 and 10.
That was Chance Gray answering back.
Gophers have to be ready here for some incredible defensive pressure, lots of trapping, lots of going for steals. That's what the Buckeyes do best, and they're going to turn it up a notch here if they're going to continue to stay in this basketball game. Gophers have to be incredibly smart with the basketball.
Sophie Hart gave it a chance. Grace Groholski keeps the Gophers alive. 5:15 left in the matchup. Battle with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Able to work around Lemila, get it to Grace Groholski. This one off the mark. But look at who it is. It's Battle. She's putting up a fight down low, helping keep the Gophers right there in striking distance.
Now, missed long 3 by Grace Groholski. And Maya Battle just a nose for the basketball, waiting for that open rebound on the weak side, getting herself to the free throw line where she's a perfect 5 of 5 tonight.
She's able to strike and put that ball up to send herself to the line. Not able to make it fall, but didn't need to. She's one of those players when she gets to the free throw line. Again, calm, cool, collected. She puts them through. Gophers now up 64-49, and we're under 5 minutes to go.
Looks like the Gophers are switching now on screens on Cambridge, depending on personnel.
Ball up, and it's pure. This time it's Chance Gray.
Gray having a nice game, 15 points, 3 of 4 from behind the 3-point line. She gets a little overshadowed by the Cambridge sisters, but she brings it herself as well for the Buckeyes. Gophers need to be really patient here offensively. There comes that double team in the trap in the corner. Great weak side rotation.
Wow, I'm impressed how they were able to break that one, because that double came fast. But fingertips in there, getting this one back for Ohio State. And it's Jelani Cambridge making him pay on the left wing.
Again, Ohio State is capable of putting up a lot of points very quickly, so the Gophers have to control the basketball in every possession here, be incredibly smart, use as much shot clock as they can.
Yeah, with that limited time here in this matchup, what do you think Ohio State has to do down the stretch?
Turn the Gophers over and then turn those turnovers into easy buckets, or get themselves to the free throw line.
You touched on it a little bit, of course. Let's talk about the Gophers. What do they need to do in these Final Four?
Control the basketball, utilize the entire shot clock, continue to crash the offensive boards. They're dominating the offensive boards 14-3, which has allowed them to get 15 second chance points.
Battle off the back iron.
Like on that last possession, Sophie Hart, the only one crashing the boards. It's tough against a team like Ohio State. You've got to crash the boards, but then you've also got to turn around and get back defensively, because they are so quick in that offensive transition.
Buckeyes putting it down. Chance Gray again. Mara Braun stepping up in a big moment, pushing the Gophers up by 20.
Gigantic three by Mara Braun. The crowd is letting her know.
Again, reminding you, Ohio State coming in today, sitting at 10, Minnesota 23. We touched on it. We think maybe the Gophers could be ranked higher than that 23 for sure. You look at this performance tonight, holding the Buckeyes down to just 67. Here inside the barn. Under 3 minutes to go in the matchup. Jelani Cambridge trying to help, but look at that. Tori McKinney able to spike that one down. The Buckeyes stay on offense. Kennedy Cambridge slips it to her teammate down low. What a play here for Lemula.
Now, you can't count this Ohio State team out. They are ranked number 10 for a reason. Only losses this season coming to number 1 UConn, number 4 UCLA, and number 10 Iowa. And then this loss they had just this past Sunday in overtime to Maryland.
McKinney, her 2 bounces off. But yeah, big number here for the Buckeyes. I mean, they typically averaging into the 80s, and tonight definitely lower than that.
Incredibly athletic move by Jelani Cambridge there, stepping through the defenders.
Tori McKinney able to come back and keep possession. But yeah, you talked about Cambridge, and I mean, she's the player that's going to be trying hard here in these final moments. Up to 23 tonight.
Right on her season average. Gophers have to utilize the entire clock here, maintain possession of the basketball.
Battle, stepping through. Able to keep possession, and it looks like a timeout coming here for the Minnesota Gophers.
Good timeout by Coach Dawn Plitzwhite. She's got 3 timeouts left, so good job getting her team set up for success here. 67-61, Minnesota over Ohio State, 1:30 to go. And here's a second look at that pretty move by Jelani Cambridge.
Back with you inside Williams Arena. Blythe Whaley alongside Marissa Kate, and just 1:32 separates us from that final buzzer. It's 67-61. The Gophers up by 6. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Braun puts it up and gets it to go. Gophers now sit at 70.
Soft touch by Mara Braun on that well-drawn-up play by the Gopher coaching staff with just 3.6 seconds remaining on the shot clock. If you're the Gophers, you want the basketball in Mara Braun, Tori McKinney, or Maya Battle's hands. Great free throw shooters. Mara Braun, 91% from the free throw line.
Under a minute to go. Tori McKinney switching it out now with Graholski. Hart to Graholski is good!
G-Money doing what she does best. She has been so clutch for the Minnesota Gophers down the stretch in big games this season. 12 points for Grace Graholski. 4 of 8 from behind the three-point line. You see smiles all around. I hate to say it. This game is not over. This is a very good Ohio State Buckeye team that can score points incredibly quickly. They've got Gray, Cambridge, and Cambridge who are all capable of putting up points. Let's take a look here at Big Ten standings as we approach the Big Ten tournament. Big Ten conference is tough every year, but I think this year it's incredibly tough when you look at that. They've got 7 teams ranked in the top 25. UCLA at a perfect 15-0, led by Big Ten preseason player of the year, Lauren Betts. And you can see number 6, Michigan, number 13, Iowa, Ohio State, and Minnesota neck and neck. And then a very good Maryland team that's been plagued with some injuries to their starters this season. And then the Gophers' next opponent, number 18, Michigan State. I think USC would be right there with them if they had returning National Player of the Year, Juju Watkins, out with a torn ACL. So again, Big Ten Conference is showing up this season like it always does.
So take a look at Grace Graholski cashing in. But back with game, 41.4 remaining. And let's take a look at what just happened here a moment ago.
Yeah, we saw Mara Braun pull down the Jelani Cambridge miss on the weak side. And then there was a quick whistle. I do believe one of the coaches called a timeout. We were busy singing the praises of the Big Ten Conference and missed which coach it was. Just a quick recap, 72-61 for Minnesota Gophers. Minnesota has 1 timeout remaining. Ohio State has no timeouts remaining. It looks like Minnesota was the ones that called that last timeout.
Now with just 41.4.
Again, Mara Braun is who you want to have the basketball, and an outstanding free throw shooter. Ohio State choosing, I was going to say Ohio State was choosing maybe not to foul. They weren't as aggressive with the foul as I thought they should have been with the amount of time on the clock.
And especially coming out of the timeout, you think they would have talked that one over. Sometimes you see that when maybe the team isn't on the same page, but they just had a moment to talk things over and still came out.
Almost one of those scenarios where you want to try and foul before the ball is even inbounded, right? Don't let any time go off the clock, as you see Mara Braun hitting that first free throw, extending the lead to 12.
Yeah, certainly not who they would want to be sending to the free throw line. Mara Braun, that's such a great shot, puts down both free throws. 74-61, 30 seconds to go. Lemula has this one bounce out. Try to give it another chance, no good. Looks like it'll stay Buckeye basketball.
I would guess the Buckeyes are going to do what they have been doing here. Jelani Cambridge will inbound the basketball, and then through a series of screens and cuts, the ball will come back to her.
Ball up for Cambridge, no. And Braun getting another big board. She has 8 tonight. In 10 seconds, this one ticks off. The Minnesota Gophers having an impressive night tonight. 74-61, the final horn goes. And Marissa, this one, exactly like we talked about in the open, it brought the March-type atmosphere here inside the barn.
It did, and the Gophers did what they needed to do to win this game. They dominated the offensive boards 15-6. They maintained possession of the basketball with just 9 turnovers. They got 32 points in the paint, and they limited Cambridge's